Good morning, friends. Welcome back. We are doing lesson 31 in phonics today. So let's start with our warm-up of blending and segmenting. Our first word is fin, fin, fa-in. How many sounds? 3, fa-in. Good job, guys. What about our next one? Ton, ta-a. How many sounds? 3, ta-a-n. Good job. Our next word, chef, sh-e-f. How many sounds? 3, sh-e-f. Good. Our next word, lap, l-a-p. How many sounds? 3, l-a-p. Good, guys. Our next word, jump, j-u-m-p. How many sounds? 4, j-u-m-p. Good job. Our next word, drip, d-r-i-p. How many sounds? 4, d-r-i-p. Good job, guys. Our next word, vent, v-i-n-t. How many sounds? 4, v-i-n-t. Good job. And our last word, built, b-i-l-t. How many sounds? 4, b-i-l-t. Good job, guys. So we're done with our warm-up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some reviewing of our tricky words. And so you are going to get lesson 31.1. It's in your Google Classroom, or you may have a copy of it on hand, a paper copy, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to write some words on the board, and then you are going to copy it next to a certain number that I call out, okay? And then from there, you're going to say the word. I'm going to erase the word off the board, and then you're going to fold your paper and write it on the other side of your paper. I know that sounds kind of confusing, but I'm going to work with you for the first couple of ones, okay? So I'm going to write the word A on the board. So here's A. All right, so now you're going to come back with your pencil and on your paper. I know this doesn't look like your paper, okay, but I am going to write the word A next to my number 1, and I say A. All right, so now I'm going to fold my paper, hot dog style. That means up and down like this. And that way, this side, I'm going to lay it flat on my desk so I can't see it. So all that is showing is this side. I'm going to erase that one up there. And I'm going to say, okay, now write A again on the other side of your paper without looking. And then I'm going to open it back up to see if I wrote the exact same thing. And I did. Okay. And if it's wrong, guys, you can correct it. All right. So this is just a practice. So let's do our next word. Okay, so I'm going to write it on the board. I. So say the word I. Good. Now write it on your paper. Okay. And I've written it on my paper. So now I'm going to turn my paper over. And I'm going to write it on the other side. I'm going to open it up to see if I wrote the exact same thing. And I did. Okay, good. So let's go on to the next one. I forgot to erase my board. Okay, let's go to our next word. The word is no. No. So I'm going to write no on the board. Okay, you say it. No, good. And now I'm going to write it on my paper. Okay, I've written it on my paper. I'm going to erase it up here. And now I want you to write it on your paper on the other side. Great. Okay. So here's our next word. Of. Okay, the word is of. So write it on your paper. Okay, I wrote it on my paper. So now I'm going to erase the board. Now write it on the other side of your paper without looking. Of. Good job. And it matches my other side. Great. Okay, let's do our next one. The word is from. Ooh, a little bit harder now. From. Okay, so write that on your paper. That should be next to number 5. From. So I wrote from on my paper. I'm going to erase my board. Now I'm going to write it on the other side. Okay, I wrote it on the other side, but oh no, it doesn't match. So you know what I have to do? I have to fix my paper. So I'm going to erase. And I'm going to fix it. And now it matches. Perfect. Okay. Our next word is R. R. So I'm going to write R on the board. So you say the word R, R, and then write it on your paper. Okay, I wrote it on my paper. Now I'm going to erase the board. And I want you to write R on the other side of your paper. And I've got it written. Good. You guys are doing great with this. Oh, here's another hard word. The word is were. 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 So say the word were and write the word were on your paper. Okay. I'm going to erase it. Now let's write it on our paper. Were. Oh, good. I got it the same that time. All right. Our next word, one. One. So I'm going to write it up here on the board. One. Okay. So write it on your paper on that one side. Okay. So I've written it once. Good. Now I'm going to erase the board. Now I'm going to have to write it on the other side without looking. Oh, and if I open it up, it matches again. Whew. All right. Our next word, who. Who. So let's write who. Who. Okay, say the word who, and let's write it on number 9. So I've written it on number 9. Now I'm going to close my paper up. I'm going to write it over here on number 9. Who. I'm going to open it back up and see if it matches, and it does. Great job. Okay, oh, I forgot to erase the My goodness. Oh, well. All right. So our last word is two, the number two. The number two. So say two. And I want you to write that on your paper. Okay, I'm going to erase it. Now, I want you to write it on the other side without looking. Two. Great job, guys. How did you guys do with that? I did pretty good. I only missed that one word, but I got to fix it. So remember, if you make a mistake, it's okay. You can fix it, okay? So good job on all those tricky words, friends. Great job. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go into our reading time. We are gonna be reading The Man in the Black Hat. Wonder what that means. So we're gonna read The Man in the Black Hat, and I am going to show you an image of the man in the black hat. So let me share my screen for a moment. Okay, let me get the picture here. See this gentleman here? He's got the red jacket on and this black hat at the top, and he's got black pants, and he looks like he's holding like a gun there, okay? But he's standing at attention. What do you think this job is for this man? I don't know. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? He's standing at attention. He's not moving. He's got his gun laid out here, and he's staring straight ahead. It's a good question. Maybe he's guarding something, or he's watching something possibly. I don't know, but what we'll do is we're going to read to find out, okay? Well, Nat and Beth and their moms are continuing their sightseeing tour of London. They stop at Buckingham Palace, the place where the king and queen live. Soldiers stand outside of the palace wearing a red jacket and a fuzzy hat. They're not allowed to speak or smile at people. However, sometimes people do silly things to try to get them to laugh or smile. So we're going to read more about the man in the black hat, okay? But before we read, let's review this sound here. If I have this sound here, how does that sound? K, good. It has the K sound. It sounds like a K, all right? But it's used as CK. So you're gonna see these couple of words here today. You're gonna see the word stock, and you're gonna see the word flock. So stock and flock. All right. And then we've got a couple vocabulary words that you're going to see also. You're going to see the word split. Split means when a person has one leg in front of their body and the one behind their body, but both legs go out to the side. It's almost like a gymnast move, okay? And then our next vocabulary is did a jig. And that means danced with lively steps. All right. So our purpose for reading today is, do you think Nat will try to make the soldiers smile? What about Beth? So we're going to read to find out if Nat or Beth got the man in the black hat to smile. So I'm going to share this story again. Okay. All right. So it's called The Man in the Black Hat. And I'm going to read with you, so you follow along and read with me, okay? All of us got off the bus. Nat led us up to a man in a black hat. Beth, Nat said, that man will not grin. Why not? I said. His job is to stand there as still as a rock and not grin, Nat said. Now, could you stand there and not grin at somebody doing something funny? I know I couldn't. And there's the snapshot. Okay. I will do the best trick I can, Nat said, but I will bet that man will not grin. Nat did a trick and fell on his back. Nat's trick got us all to grin, but the man in the black hat did not grin. And there's the picture. Look, the man in the black hat's not grinning. I bet I can get him to grin, I said. I did a split, but the man did not grin. I even sang a song and did a jig, but still the man did not grin. And look, Beth is standing there beside him and he is still looking forward, not looking at her, and he's not grinning. Mom got lots of snapshots of us and the man in the black hat, but there is not one snapshot where that man grins. And there he is standing at his post. Now, what is the man in the black hat not allowed to do? What's he not allowed to do? He's not allowed to grin or smile. He has to just stand there still. Could you just stand there still and not smile? That would be a really hard job for me. I could not do it. And I bet a lot of you all would be the exact same way too. What things do Beth and Nat do to try to make him smile? Oh yeah, Nat fell on his back. And Beth was doing flips and dancing jigs, right? And he still didn't smile. So he was a very good soldier, wasn't he? He sure was. All right, so now I am going to have you guys look at your worksheet 31.2. This is in your Google Classroom. All right, in your Google Classroom. So I am going to share my board up you again. Let me get my trusty camera set up so you guys can see this. And it's called The Man in the Black Hat. And it says, what is the job of the man in the black hat? What was his job? He was supposed to stand there and guard the palace, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, did Beth get the grin? She did not get the man to grin. She did not. Okay, and let's look at our next page. Okay. Number 3 says, what did Nat do to get the man to grin? Did Nat get him to grin? No, he didn't get the man to grin because he was very straightforward. He was doing his job. Who did Nat get to grin? Nat had everybody else. Beth and both moms were both grinning at him because he was being funny. But not the soldier, not the man in the black fuzzy hat. Okay? All right. So let me mute that and bring you back to me. All right, great. Great job, guys. We just finished our worksheet 31.2. Remember, when you're doing those worksheets, if you don't care to write a complete sentence, all right, when answering your questions. That is the end of our small group discussion. So make sure that you answer those questions, turn it in to me, all right? And also, I'm going to take you back a second. If you do not have that tricky words practice sheet like we did at the beginning, where I gave you the word and you had to write it on the other side, you can do that on a piece of notebook paper. That's no problem, okay? All right, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.